Hello world, it is Monday, January 31st, 2022, and excuse me, looking out the window at the world in Defiance, it looks it's trying to be nice out. Some clouds, a little, little bit overcast, but cold. It was 9 degrees this morning when I got up, but I think it's supposed to warm up today and tomorrow, and then storms rolling in as the weather changes tomorrow. The devotion for today is entitled Tears in a Bottle by Vicki Kemper. Vicki bases the devotion upon Psalm 56, verse 8, Common English Bible. You yourself have kept track of my misery. Put my tears into your bottle. Aren't they on your scroll already? And then Vicki writes, I was reminded recently how difficult it is for many of us to deal with someone else's sadness or emotional distress. I saw how so many of us, when made uncomfortable by another's discomfort, move quickly into fix-it mode. It's not that bad, we say. You're overreacting, we add. Why don't you try this, we suggest, wanting desperately to pass the ball of responsibility, the burden of awareness, the weight of obligation. You deal with it. If the situation persists, we might offer, this too will pass, just give it time. And if we're really uncomfortable, just don't understand, or at a sincere loss as to what to do or say, we might not say anything at all. We might be unwilling even to listen. We might forget that the most important thing of all is simply to acknowledge the other's pain. Not to put too fine a point on this, but none of this is helpful. It may even compound another's hurt. How comforting, then, to know that the Holy One registers our every hurt and collects each tear that falls. How healing it is to be heard without judgment, to be able to share our pain without running up against someone else's need for resolution. And how encouraging it is to know that we, too, can choose to honor our dear ones' sufferings and preserve their tears in our own heart-shaped bottles. And Vicki's prayer. God who hears, for love that records and honors my feelings, for your sacred bottle of tears, I give you thanks and praise. Excuse me. Well, a couple things that come to mind in this. One that popped in as I was reading the scripture is back when my daughter was in a choir in high school, they sang a song called God's Bottles. And it didn't occur to me that that's what, I really couldn't hear the words. Now I have to go and try to see if I can find the lyrics. But that's probably what this was about, or that song was about. I also think this devotion gives us some good advice about caring for someone who is dealing with sadness or emotional distress. We do tend to try to go into fix-it mode when in reality that sometimes is the worst thing that we can do, because we don't really know the depth of the person's emotions or the depth of sadness or distress that they're going through. So it doesn't really help. In fact, it can hurt to actually offer advice as to how to get out of it, unless it's asked for specifically. But just being present with someone and let them know that they are still loved and cared for. Because I think that's what God models. God doesn't step in and remove our pain, but God continues to be present for us in that moment. And He collects our tears in a bottle, God's bottles. Hope you have a good day, and I hope to talk to you again tomorrow.